You know, if you picture one of the most sophisticated recycling plants on the entire planet, what if I told you that it's operating right inside your body, 24/7? Today, we're diving into the liver and its incredible, absolutely vital role in handling every last bit of protein you eat.
So you have a protein shake, maybe a steak or some beans, and you know it's good for you. But have you ever really stopped to wonder what happens after that? Where does all that protein actually go? Well, that's the exact journey we're about to follow. Okay, so our story really kicks off the moment you finish your meal. We're going to track the building blocks of protein, these things called amino acids, as they start their amazing journey from your plate all the way to the body's central headquarters. So, the very first step is digestion, right? Those big, complex protein molecules from your food get systematically broken apart in your digestive system. They're crunched down into these much smaller, way more manageable units called amino acids. These are the fundamental building blocks the body can actually get to work with.
From there, these amino acids get absorbed out of the small intestine and straight into your bloodstream. And their first major stop, their number one destination, is the body's master processing plant, the liver.
So once these amino acids show up at the liver, they've got a prime directive, a primary mission. See, the body doesn't just break them down for fun, it has some very specific, very important construction projects in mind.
And there's a fantastic word for this whole construction project: assimilation. It sounds complicated, but it just means taking the molecules from your food and converting them into new molecules that your body actually needs to function. It's basically the ultimate form of biological recycling. So, what exactly is the liver building? Well, it uses those amino acids to put together brand new essential proteins. A brilliant example of this is a protein called fibrinogen. This guy is a critical part of your blood plasma, and it's the hero that jumps into action to help your blood clot when you get a cut. I mean, think about that. Without fibrinogen, even a tiny paper cut could be a really big problem.
But this super efficient system leads to a pretty fascinating problem. What happens when all the construction projects are done for the day, but there's still a huge pile of leftover building materials?
This is the crucial question, isn't it? Your body is incredibly precise. It only uses what it needs for the jobs right in front of it. So what in the world does the body do with all those extra amino acids just floating around?
And here's the real kicker. Unlike fats or carbs, which we can pack away for later, the body has zero system for storing extra amino acids. You can't just put them in a cupboard for a rainy day. This presents a major challenge that the body absolutely has to solve, and fast.
And a liver's solution is, well, it's nothing short of metabolic alchemy. It's this elegant and absolutely essential process for dealing with the surplus. It's called deamination.
Let's just break that word down for a second, because it tells you exactly what's going on. De means to remove. Amino refers to that amino group. So deamination is literally the process of removing the nitrogen part of the amino acid. Simple as that. What's so wild about this is how the liver enzymes literally split the amino acid molecule into two completely separate parts, and each one has a totally different destiny. The carbon part is valuable, so it gets rescued and used for energy. But that nitrogen part, well, that's a problem, and it has to be treated as waste. Now, handling this nitrogen is a critical, time-sensitive job. The moment that amino group is stripped off, it forms ammonia, which is super toxic to your cells. So the liver has to work incredibly fast, immediately converting this dangerous stuff into a much safer, less toxic compound called urea before it can cause any real damage.
And this really just ties it all together beautifully. You start with one core ingredient, amino acids. The liver then does three main things with them. It uses them for synthesis to build new proteins, it converts some for energy, and it performs deamination to handle the leftovers, creating urea as a waste product. One input, three totally critical results.
Okay, so we've broken the amino acid down. What happens next to these new molecules the liver has so cleverly created? Where do they go? That useful part, the carbon backbone, gets rescued from the scrap heap. The liver converts it into something called glycogen, which is basically a stored form of sugar. It can be tucked away right there in the liver for later, ready to provide a quick energy boost whenever your body needs it. See? Nothing goes to waste. At the same time, that waste product, urea, gets released from the liver back into the bloodstream. From there, it takes a trip to the kidneys, which act as the body's master filtration system. The kidneys pull all that urea out of the blood, and it's finally removed from the body as part of urine.
And here's a quick but really important distinction, because this is something people mix up all the time. Getting rid of urea? That's excretion. That's the removal of waste products that were made by metabolic reactions inside your cells. It's completely different from egestion, which is just, getting rid of undigested food. It's a small difference in wording, but a huge difference in biology.
So why is this whole process so unbelievably important? Well, if it fails, if this system breaks down and urea starts to build up in the blood, the consequences are severe. We're talking about things like cell death, a reduced response to insulin, which can seriously increase the risk of diabetes, and even dangerous deposits forming inside your blood vessels. It really shows you how critical the liver's role is for your health moment to moment.
When you really step back and look at it, the liver is a true master alchemist, isn't it? It's turning potential toxins into harmless waste and salvaging every last drop of energy. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible metabolic secrets is this amazing organ keeping?